Welcome to my PMP videos. Today we are going to talk about hybrid approach. Hybrid approach is a combination of predictive and adaptive approach. Predictive is where the scope, time, cost is very well determined in the early phase of your project. Adaptive is a combination of incremental and iterative. Adaptive is also called as agile methodology. When do we use hybrid approach in a real life? Imagine your project consists of hardware, infrastructure, and software dependencies. The infrastructure, for example, you are buying a virtual machine that requires a detailed planning, analysis, time involved, cost involved. We cannot buy without knowing any of this upfront. That calls for your predictive approach. And software, we can definitely use adaptive approach. Why? Because adaptive is a combination of incremental and iterative. With incremental, I mean you provide deliveries in a small, frequent basis. By iterative, I mean we keep on repeating the stuffs until we get a perfect solution. Now it's the question time. So I'm trying to recap all the development approaches we have been discussing. Let's go one by one. Chris is the PM for a reputed company. The customer expects to launch the MVP of the product before the competitors launches it. What approach would suit them? What do they do here? They wanted to launch the MVP as soon as possible. Here, fast is the goal. If you think of our incremental approach, that is where we do small frequent deliveries and fast speed is the goal, and that's the keyword for incremental approach. So the first one is incremental. Here Tanya, the new PM, joined the bank. She noticed that scope is constantly changing for the new deliverables, but the rollout of the deliverable is in a known phased approach. What is happening here? Something is in known phased approach, but scope is constantly changing. So it's a combination of predictive and adaptive. So this is a hybrid approach. This is a classic example of your hybrid approach. Third one, Nadia, the PM, finds out that scope is determined early in the project, but time and cost is constantly changing as team plans to do a series of repeated cycles until the solution is correct. As we discussed in our incremental approach, that is where we constantly get feedback from the customer and we keep repeating the cycles until we fine tune, until the solution is correct. So this one calls for iterative approach. Project sponsor approves the project and appointed PM. The newly identified PM is determining the scope, time, and cost early in the life cycle. So obviously the answer is predictive approach. I hope you are clarified now with different types of development approaches. Thank you so much.